All right. What up, everybody on YouTube? This your boy C for 3, back with another video. You already know I do this shit, basketball and astrology in motion. Boom. And welcome to NBA Finals Day, Game 1. I'm excited. Spurs and Knicks. It's been a long time waiting. I've been wanting to do this video. I'm about to start dropping a lot of content on my channel. I say that every time, but watch and stay tuned this June, you know. So yo, NBA Finals Day, hope y'all doing good. All my Knicks people, all my Spurs people, let's see what it is, you know. So I'm gonna keep this one real straight to the point, you know. We're in Gemini season. We got this basketball game going on. We got, you know, Big Body Bronson. Shout out to Perk, you know what I'm saying? Big Body Bronson versus Wemby and the Bird. The boys out in the Spurs, you know what I'm saying? Fox, Vassell, Shad Penny. You know, it's going to be a good matchup. You got Stephen Castle, young player making a good name for himself. And then we got the Knicks. You know, the Knicks been holding it down for a couple years. They finally reached the finals, you know. Josh Hart, Cat, Brunson, Bridges, OG Anunoby holding it down. So it's going to be a great matchup. I can't wait to get to it. My personal prediction, I'm going to just say it up front. I think the Spurs are going to win in 6 games. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of reasons why. So I'm going to break this down using real world hoop analogy, the basketball side of things, and then I'm gonna tie in the esoteric spiritual world, you know, the astrology, the spiritual world, because that's always going on, you know. So hope everybody been vibing high. Welcome to June, all my hoopers, all my astrology people. We merging this into one right now. I'm the guy that can do that. That's what I'm here to do. So, you know, welcome to Gemini season. It's all about having that positive mindset, trying to make it through these seasons, you know. And forgive me if like I'm a little sweaty or whatever. I just finished hooping in my job, you know, balling up on them NBA Finals action, had fun. But you know, hope it's a good time in June. Weather's getting better out here in New England, especially. It's finally heating up. Celtics are not in the playoffs. I feel like they should have been in the finals. Jaylen Brown might be going to the Pelicans. That's neither here or there. But you know what I'm saying? It's good, you know. So June's been good. All my Gemini people. So I just want to say, you know, this finals is happening in June, Gemini season. Right now, this is high-level basketball. This is all about thinking, a thinking man's game, a thinking woman's game for all the women who are out there who watch the NBA Finals, you know. You got to think the game, right? You got to be able to make the right reads. This is the NBA Finals. You know, you got to make the right passes. You got to make the right backdoor cuts, the right fakes, everything, the right shot adjustments, especially with somebody like Wembanyama playing out there. How would you get that shot over him? Stephen Castle, he's an intense player playing intense defense. Jalen Brunson, he's that type of player who he kicks on with him in the 4th quarter, right? Mr. Clutch himself. So you can see these are 2 best teams right now in the NBA, and we almost had a preview of that during the NBA Cup, you know, when the Knicks took that. So I expect it to be more competitive than people think, even though with the Knicks being a team that's not in the West, people don't give them a chance. But I think they match up really well. It's all about matchups. Like I say, Gemini season, if you're a coach, shout out to the coach, right? Mike Brown versus Mitch Johnson, right? He's a young guy, right? So I think Mike Brown might have a little bit of the coaching advantage on Mitch. I don't know. Mitch is going to have to show and prove on this stage, right? I want to say Mike Brown's been there again earlier in his career with LeBron, but these are 2 different eras of basketball, 2 different teams. No LeBron, but there's Wemby out there. He's on the other side. So, you know, you got to hoop. You know, I think whoever survives the emotion of the finals, like there's not too many of these players that's really finals experience besides Harrison Barnes. I think whoever doesn't let the moment overwhelm them, drown in the moment, you know, stay true to who they are, the identity of their individual players. Like me, I'm a shooter. I know what shots I want to take, not take. I don't go out of my box and my range for big games or small games. That's how you build consistency. You know, you play within what you're working on, you know, trust the reps, trust the process. I think the team that does that the most, which looks like the Spurs, you know, beating a team like OKC, I think they'll pull this one out, if you ask me. You know, whoever can trust what they've been doing all 82 plus what the last 20 playoff games, 15 playoff games, right? Trust your identity. That's what building growth, aka me being C for 3, it's all about growing, growth, and development. You have to trust the work you put in, right? So let's just break down a couple individual sun signs for each player. I'm not going to go deep into their birth charts. I could, but that'll be another video for another day. But for this NBA Finals prediction, this is the reason why I have Spurs in 6, these matchups. So check this out, you know. So let's talk about Bronson versus Castle. I got them matched up because I think Bronson would be guarding Castle when it comes to this game. Vice versa, Castle will be guarding Bronson. So Jalen Brunson, sun sign Virgo. We can see that in his game. Very meticulous, very methodical player. He's not the type of player that's going to zoom up and down the court, per se, like a fire sign player, a la like a Ja Morant type, Leo type, you know. But Virgo type people like to, you know, take their time, manipulate the game, you know. And I believe Jalen Brunson is going to have a series that going to surprise a lot of people, with it being Gemini season. Gemini ruled by Mercury, and also Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So this is the time of year where the thinkers will win. I think a lot of times the way Jalen addresses the media, the way he plays the game, especially in the fourth quarter, he's never rushed, but he knows how to play those angles off the backboard. It's like SGA-ish, but I think the reason why he doesn't get as much backlash because he's not 6'6", he's 6'1". You know, granted, maybe 6 foot, granted. He doesn't flop all the time, aka fall on the ground, flopping over, right? And then you could tell Jalen Brunson, he shoots the shots he feels comfortable with. I think SGA against the Spurs was shooting shots he wasn't comfortable with in the fourth quarter. I'm a hooper. I just finished playing ball, so I know that's a thing. You know, at that time, you trust your teammates. I think Brunson has that in him. Also, being a Virgo. You know, I forget SGA sign. I think he's a Cancer. I think his emotions got the best of him. Shout out to Cancer people. But I think Virgos, Jalen Brunson knows how to service his teammates. But we'll see how this happens, because this is a whole different Spurs animal, way different from anything in the East like Philly or the Hawks, per se, you know. So another side against Brunson, we have him guarded by Mr. Steph Castle. He is a Scorpio, and we see him always having these Scorpio tendencies during the game. He's a very intense player, in-your-face type of guy, intense defender. People say he's playing football out there, but that's just how Scorpio people are. Scorpio people can be mistaken for fire signs, but they're one of the most intense placements in the zodiac, and they're a water sign. So it's fueled by like a deep emotion for something. You know, emotion can be good. You know, a lot of people talk about emotion. It gets like a bad rep sometimes, like, oh, emotional, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, when you really vibe high and think about the word plays and how emotion is, emotion, energy, and motion. So you can see Mr. Steph Castle, the Scorpio, is very intense during the game. He locks down. He's in people's faces when he dunks. He hangs on a whim. He brings a certain energy, intensity to the game. You know, he could bring the game into deep waters. You know, just his energy alone, he can press 94 feet. As soon as you cross half-court line, he's on you. So, you know, they step the next, probably run pick and roll, Bronson off screens, off-ball movements. We'll see how that goes. But, you know, Steph Castle brings the game to a deeper level. Scorpio water sign, bringing you to hell, bringing you down there. Different type of Spurs hell, you know. I heard one of the people on ESPN say that. All right. Next at the guard position, we have Josh Hart versus De'Aaron Fox. Josh Hart is a Pisces, so we see Josh Hart with the smooth type of game. You know, he's not like a super fast-paced player, but he can be. But at the time, you know, Josh Hart has that up and down flows of a Pisces being a mutable sign. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he could be up and down also. So he can be streaky, but he's a very calm player. He can bring the game down, calm them down. They need a big shot, somebody to calm them down, or he could bring them up, somebody who can, you know, bring the energy up. That's the thing about Pisces. You know, you get both of them, right? So I like that for Josh Hart. Basically, that type of stabilizer for the Knicks when things get hectic. Call on the Pisces to soothe that soothing water energy, you know. But if he gets lost, gets too emotional, he can be disappearing too. You know, Pisces can go ghost. De'Aaron Fox is a Sagittarius. That's a fire sign. So we see this as De'Aaron Fox seems to be a natural motivator for the Spurs ever since he got there. He's a fiery personality. He plays fast. I'm a fire sign. He's a fire sign. I understand that about fire. Quick, flame on. Let's get there. Let's try to make big shots, bring that energy. Sagittarius people also don't mind being in the collective. So De'Aaron Fox isn't the type of person to be like, you know, I'm an all-star, I've been this, da-da-da-da-da. He's willing to take, for say, 1B role to 1A Wemby, right? He takes the back seat, even though he probably has more quote-unquote accolades than Wemby. But De'Aaron Fox, the wisdom of a Sagittarius player, he's a wise point guard, right? Kind of got a little Chris Paul energy to him. He's a wise point guard. So Sagittarius being wise people in the zodiac, we get that from De'Aaron Fox, you know. I think De'Aaron Fox and Castle have great advantages in that backcourt, but we'll see how Brunson and Hart reacts to that, you know. Virgo and Pisces, you know, they're opposite signs, so we'll see if Josh Hart and Brunson are on the same page in the backcourt, you know. Interesting matchups. Then we go to the guard position, right? We got OG Anunoby. He's a Cancer, so at times OG Anunoby could be quiet. You know, he's built physically strong, you would think, but he, as you know, his personality, he's not like a over-the-top player talking trash or anything. Sometimes he'll score 20 points and he's quiet with it. So I think during this game, and he's a fan favorite, people love OG Anunoby, so I think that'll play a bigger role for home Cancer, dealing with home team, home players. I think OG Anunoby just out naturally, he might play better at home than on the road. We'll see how that happens based on if his team feeds him. Cancer people definitely do good when they feel like a part of something, supported by others. So I think the Spurs are going to come out hot. They've been playing for like the last couple weeks, a couple of tough games in the West, you know, tough schedule. So they're like battle tested. So I think they'll come out and punch the Knicks in the mouth first, but we'll see, you know. We'll see what happens to OG. I know will he show up or not. I expect him to have a bigger games in New York than in San Antonio. Devin Vassell on the other guard, he's a Virgo, so almost like Jalen Burson, you know, he's a chill player, but he's smart. You know, we don't see a lot of over-the-top fiery energy from Vassell. It could come and go, but a lot of times he's chilling in the cut, very smart. He picks his threes. He's like a sniper, you know what I'm saying, in and out. He's not an erratic player. He's a tough defender, servicing his team, just like Virgos do, does all the dirty work, kind of like him and OG. So depends on which one of those get hot from three. I think maybe Vassell, because I feel like as him being a Virgo, make a trump a Cancer in the game of basketball. A Cancer will probably have more going on for them at home, the energy of the crowd, their girlfriend home cooking, mama's home cooking. Shout out to Kwame Brown, you know. So I think Vassell will win that matchup too, just based on the Sun, Sign, Zodiacs. We'll see. You know, I think Vassell will be willing to find that role, you know, niche out that. Unlike some other players, you know, sometimes when they emotionally get out, they emotionally get out, you know. The other guard position, we have Miles Bridges versus Julian Champagnie. Miles Bridges is an Aries, so we can see a lot of times Miles Bridges is an Aries. He runs a lot, he goes fast, he's a warrior type player, he's built like a Rough Rider, he's a tough guy, but like Aries, start fast and just flame out fast, you know. Miles Bridges always seems like he's a person that's there for the first 3 quarters, but he hasn't been as clutch in my liking as a player, a hooper, astrologer, whatever. You want to call me a coach, a basketball enthusiast, basketball aficionado at this point. Miles Bridges doesn't show up a lot in the fourth, but granted, I don't watch like 1,000 Knicks games. I'm not, you know, Walt Frazier, Monica McNutt. But that's just my view. But Miles Bridges is definitely capable, Aries energy. You know, he has to get hype up sometimes, you know. But I feel like once Aries under fire signs, we lose our motivation. Bam, bam. Sometimes it's like, damn, you know. But flame out quick. But he's very effective defender too. Aries, warrior archetype. So Miles Bridges wouldn't mind getting there, mixing up if things get a little 30. Aries type energy, you know. They just know how to fight naturally, you know. Sharp people fight, you know. So Julian Champagnie on the opposite side is a Cancer, kind of like OG Anunoby. Chill player. He's not really over the top, but can be if things maybe get chippy, emotional. Cancer people, you got to bring it out of them. Like OG Anunoby, I expect Champagnie to shoot better at home like he did Game 7. Well, that was away, but you know, I expect him to be even better at home. You know, he did Game 7 OKC. Cancer people can sometimes be clutch because they understand the moment, emotions, you know what I'm saying? So all water sign people can understand the moment, like I said about Josh Hart being a stabilizer for the Knicks, Pisces energy, understanding the moment. But I also feel that, you know, Champagnie has that understanding the moment when he kicks it out, shoot it now, if not, swing, swing, swing. So with that matchup, I feel like Champagnie lately has been a better three-point shooter than Miles Bridges in his role, you know. Bridges is the capable defender, but I feel like with him being, and they're both cardinal signs, so Cancer versus Aries at that matchup, I feel like Cancer people just know how to pick up that emotion at the end and still be usable, when Aries people could be like, I'm out. I was done. I did, you know, so I don't know. That's just my analogy. And last but not least, I think Champagne will win that matchup. We'll see. You know, especially playing within the Spurs system. Shout out to Greg Popovich. Vaulted ball movement as far as Miles Bridges more having to create one-on-one, or we'll see how Mike Brown has that offense, or maybe transition, or Bronson's getting double swing action, which I was saying. I think Champagne hits more off the swing action than Miles Bridges swing action, you know. And I'm a shooter. Champagne drops it in the bucket, you know. And I think the most important matchup between, besides Bronson and Cancel, would be what a lot of people talking about, Cat versus Wemby. You know, big matchup, big man. It's going to be one of the biggest matchup. You know, Wemby trying to get that title. Cat trying to hold it down for the hard-working New Yorkers, the pale hats, the Timberlands, and the hard hats, you know. So Cat is a Scorpio. Once again, he plays better when emotions and engaged. Cat is a real intense guy. If you're watching him play, he dunks, he yells, he's good. You know, Scorpio people feel it. A lot, like I said earlier about Steph Castle. You know, I think if Cat can somehow emotionally take the challenge against Wemby and dive deep into his, once again, Scorpio people that take it deep, you know. Cat take it deep. That Wemby did that to the West, and everybody counting out the East. You know, whatever you got to do in basketball to pull on something to bring that spiritual side of the game. You've done all the physical things, but astrology plays that role because this esoterical, the moon, the sun, the stars are things we don't think about until it's time to think about. Sometimes that plays a role in life. So Cat could dive deep into his psyche, his spirit, and bring out 7 good games, 6 good games. It's going to be a good series, you know. But once again, you know, I think Wemby, him being a Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? I think Wemby, a natural-born leader, he has all the skills. He has all the skills. Capricorn, he's worked. Capricorn being an earth sign, you know, and this is the elitist earth sign, unlike Virgos and Taurus, you know. Capricorns work hard to be #1. Literally, Wemby's #1, 7'6". You can't teach that, just his height alone. Capricorn, top of the zodiac. Only thing about Capricorn, you know, they know they can do it by themselves, but then they get wise enough and smart enough to know how to build a team. So I think Wemby is real good team builder. I think he has to just remember that. That's what helped him win against OKC. The block by Lou Cornett, the threes from Champagne, the intense defense by Castle. So I think if Wemby doesn't start thinking, I'm the one, I'm the Capricorn, I'm the Cap, you know, he's a natural-born leader, so it's good that he doesn't really have other Capricorns on the team. He doesn't have Aquarius. He doesn't have Leos like myself. Like, he doesn't have these people who might clash with his leadership style. It's almost like Wemby took the throne of the Spurs effortlessly before he's quote-unquote taking it from the NBA, unlike let's say Tim Duncan was a Taurus. You know, he was way more meek and chill and calm about it. Wemby wins and lets you know, I want the MVP. I'm the defensive player of the year, first team all defense, first team all NBA. So Wemby is a, you know, an alien to say the least. There's a whole nother conspiracy thing about that, a whole nother esoteric thing about that, quote unquote. But I think, you know, we're going to see the alien win his first NBA championship, his first championship in the year of 1. You know, so, you know, let's just break this down even deeper esoterically. So, you know, if you want to talk about the numbers of the game, the astrology run by numbers, basketball, we all wear numbers, you know. I'm number 33. I'm 33 years old here. You know, things happen in motion. That's why astrology and numbers and basketball all repeats. If you're a good shooter, it's in motion. You can repeat that shot in motion all the time. Astrology, birthday comes around, the finals in June every time. So there is a reason and rhyme and, you know, roundabout nature of how time works. You know, what comes around goes around, these sayings. So back when the Knicks and Spurs played the first matchup, when Tim Duncan won his first championship, you know what I'm saying? It was 1999. That was the year of 1, you know what I'm saying? And if you watch my previous video on YouTube, which you probably should, 2026 is the year of Genesis. It's a 1 year. You know what I'm saying? 2026 is a 1 year, so history repeats itself. We have this matchup once again in the year of 1. 1999 was the year of 1. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's really a 666 if you look in 1999 inverse. So this is a real year that's real coded in evil purposes, to say the least. You know, not to bring that into the video, but this is the world we live in. So, you know, the one who is the one alien. Some people might say alien deals with a little demonic energy, you know. So I think a lot of these signs and symbols and a lot of things we're watching, history repeats theirself. And then Tim Duncan has been present around the Spurs lately. You know, and it's kind of crazy. Rick Adelman died. He was a coach that was real popping during the 1999 season, the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I know in the 2000s for sure, because he was a coach on, you know, team I was with. I mean, not with, but I went for. Mike Bibby and Weber, 2002 on Sacramento Kings. Rick Adelman died. So, and you know, I'm just tying in a lot of conspiracies right now, numbers, along with astrology, along with basketball, because this is how you see the universe holistically, you know. So I really think, and it's the year of the horse, I want to say too. I said that it's the year of Genesis. If you watch my video on YouTube, it's the year of Genesis and the fire horse. So if you know about a spur is an instrument used for horses. So, you know, I just feel that this year, the numbers esoterically is pointing to a Spurs new dynasty. And I think they might be one of the teams who win, maybe not back-to-back, but a couple of rings in the 2020s era. We'll see going into the 2030s. So, you know, I'm not going to make this video too long. You know, it's already 20 minutes in, but I think the Spurs are going to win this. This is my finals prediction. Using astrology, you know, I think the Spurs are going to take it. We'll see. It should be a couple good games. So like I was saying, a lot of good matchups. You know, Bronson, the Virgo. You know, De'Aaron Fox, the Sagittarius. You know, we're going to see a lot of differences in play styles. A lot of times De'Aaron Fox will get it and just try to get it. Jalen Brunson is going to manipulate, pick and choose. See when he can burst if somebody's tired, and then see if he can hit the step back. But we'll see, you know. So with that being said, it's going to be a good series, you know. Tap in with me if you want astrology work. And the funny thing about this finals, there's no Geminis in this finals. There's not a lot of air signs. I didn't see no Libras, no Geminis, no Aquarius. So we're going to see. It's going to be highly emotional game. Got some fire signs. Got a lot of water signs, you know. A lot of water signs in this season. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to who really plays at home. You know, can the role players do it at home like we say any other time, especially when we have Cancer and Scorpio placements and Pisces placements, right? All three the water signs represented. So it might be a little chippy. You know, a lot of these people are hungry. Knicks fans are hungry. Spurs are hungry to, you know, climb back since the Kawhi Leonard, you know, days, last Tim Duncan days, I'm not mistaken, last time they won, Manu days. So Spurs are looking to revamp, you know, something new. And like I said, man, we have a lot of, like, repetition happening. You know, the Michigan Wolverines won the first time in a long time. Indiana Hoosiers won first time in a long time. So I could be wrong. A lot of people say the Knicks are going to win, but I don't know. Wemby, these matchups, just talking straight hoops, you know, I think it's too much. You know, they've already been battle tested, so we'll see. But with that being said, Vibe Pod, this your boy Seed for 3. I will catch y'all very soon on YouTube. I'm not a Spurs fan, but I guess go Spurs, go. I see y'all another one, man. I'm out.